This bird is so incredible that we are in negotiations with National Geographic, trying to get them to convince them to come here to film a 1-hour documentary special on this bird, featuring the celebrated backdrop of Moraine Lake. And at this point, I'm sure you're all wondering, okay, tell us, Joel, what is this bird? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you one of my favorite birds, the astounding, the incredible American dipper.
Cute.
Did he have a passport?
Yeah, he has a passport to be here on both sides of the border. But yeah, that was a pretty underwhelming response. And I guess it makes sense. Yeah, you look at this thing and you know, okay, yeah, it's a little sort of small, drab, grayish, black bird. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that this is a bird that's really related to things that you might see at your backyard bird feeding, like robins and sparrows, that lives full-time in fast-flowing mountain streams only in Western North America. They go right into the water to feed on the aquatic insect larvae that live in the stream bed. And you know, we're talking about freezing cold water that's fast-flowing. That's got to be a dangerous occupation for a bird. Even more dangerous come winter. They're here year-round. Yeah, not these spotted sandpipers, man, they take off. Dippers are here year-round. They find any bits of open water, and even when it's minus 35 out, you'll see them plopping into the water to find food. So clearly, they are more exceptional than you guys are giving them credit for.
Yes.
Credit. So,
Looks are
yeah.
deceiving.
So, yeah, looks can be deceiving. There's, you know, and good things come in small packages. So ideally, it would have been nice to have a live dipper here this morning to show you, right? But I left it too late. I went to the dipper rental agency yesterday afternoon, totally sold out for these next few days. So I'm going to take on the role of the dipper. And what we're going to do is we're going to go on a little virtual tour of Moraine Creek from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. And you'll see what they've got going for. So clearly I'm beige and green right now, so I got to transform myself into a dull, drab gray bird. So this is going to involve just a little bit of stripping. But don't worry, this is a family-rated show, so the shirt's got to go. That's for sure. Okay, there we go. Get rid of the shirt.
Yeah, your spoon.
Yeah, my spoon doesn't matter. Okay, what else has got to go? Well, the shoes have got to go. So they're gray. That's gray. Well, clearly the pants have got to go. Okay, but that's all that's going to go, just in case you're wondering. You asked what my show was at night, it's not anything more than this. Yeah. All right, so there, I've transformed myself into a dull, drab, gray bird, right? But that's like, looks can be deceiving. That's just what it looks like on the outside. So on the inside, the dipper is an absolute miracle of adaptation. So I got my dipper suit here, and we're going to begin our tour by stepping into that fast-flowing stream. Remember, this is a bird the size of a starling. Have you ever tried to cross fast-flowing water yourself on a ford? I mean, it's dangerous, right? You could slip and end up falling over, getting swept away by the water. How do dippers manage? Jumbo-sized feet. So dippers, for their size, have these really big feet. Very powerful feet too, so when they walk into the fast current, right, they can grab onto the substrate, so as they're feeding, they don't get swept away. Okay, so we're up to our ankles now in that stream, but you'll notice the next thing about the dipper, naked legs. That should be a major source of heat loss, you'd think, in really cold glacial water. So, what you can't see though is that they have a nifty heat retention system in the circulatory system that's in their legs. So if we could take an x-ray of their legs, they might look sort of like this, or if we had Superman vision. Okay? Remember these?
No.
Jane Fonda.
You're not bad.
Okay. Yeah, flash dance. Okay, so with these leg warmers, what I'm showing you is normally in most mammals and birds you have arteries and veins running side by side. In dippers, the artery has the veins wrapped around it. So the idea being, right, the artery is carrying warm blood from the body to the feet. And normally the heat in that blood would just be lost to the water. When you wrap the veins around it, the heat from the arterial blood is transferred to the cool blood that's coming back into the body. So it's not a perfect system, but it's just one more way that the dipper makes sure that it's not losing precious body heat to the environment. Okay, so we're up to here in the stream. Time for full immersion. And any of the guys who've ever swum in cold lakes You know that this is the hardest part, right? Actually, for everybody, that's the hardest part. Your legs are going not too badly, but you don't want to get your body. It's got all your, it's got all your precious organs in it. You don't want it to get it cold. So how does the dipper manage? Well, it wears a superb, thick, luxuriant down jacket of very tightly packed gray feathers. And compared to other birds of a similar size, the dippers, its down feathers are really tight on the body. And who's got a down jacket here? Where do you live?
Toronto.
Oh, Toronto, yeah, you mean well. But you know, it traps air, right? So you put it on a cold day and you feel all cozy inside.
Yeah.
It puffs up. Now, here's the question though. Anybody else got a down jacket? Couple? Okay, when do they stop working? Under what circumstances do they fail to work?
When they're
When
wet.
they're wet.
When they're wet. Here's the dipper in the water constantly. How does it keep its down jacket dry? Well, it keeps it dry by possessing a jumbo-sized preen gland. Now, all birds have a preen gland, ducks especially. Have you ever seen ducks sort of reach around towards the base of their tail and they're wondering if they're doing yoga? They're actually getting from the little gland, which is located right there, they're getting a little helping of this oil or wax that comes out of the gland. And then it's in their bill and they start pulling their feathers to their bill and they're putting the waterproofing wax on every feather. Even the feathers they can't reach, they'll put a little dab on their wing and then they'll rub it through the feathers on their head until your down jacket is 100% waterproof. Not bad. See, is the dipper starting to astound you? I'm just getting to the best part, because now we're up to our wing pits, and despite having the big feet, our grip on the stream bed is starting to get a little tenuous. And with any other bird, if it was swept down into the current, a bird this size, that would probably be goners, not dippers, because when that happens, what do? They simply open their wings underwater, and those wings are miraculously transformed into fins or flippers. So this is a bird that can easily fly through the air like a normal bird, but when it wants to, it can sort of transform itself into like a miniature penguin. And they can flap their wings and fly under the water. In fact, sometimes in the streams, because they're a little bit buoyant, they'll tip the wings like airfoils into the current so it keeps them down close to the base of the stream. And if there's a really good, say, a really good deep pool with a bunch of bugs in it, they'll dive down. They've been recorded down 20 feet. A bird this big and holding their breath for up to 30 seconds with lungs the size of peanuts. I mean, that's pretty darn good. Okay, so let's see. We're up to here now. Are you ready for full immersion?